Good. Have a good day. You're dismissed. Goodbye. What up? What up? What up, people? I did this yesterday, and I had all the wrong data that disappeared, and Google did it. Google's been playing games with me because the algorithms in this very high political climate continues to put me in a category which I am not putting, nor am I asking you to be political. Do not come up with your political opinions based on this conversation. The question is very simple. Should the 1A community stand behind Donald Trump's for his right to free speech? The reason why I'm saying this to you is because they charged him with deprivation of rights under the color of law, ladies and gentlemen. Regardless what you want to believe or, the full facts of what happened here. Here is what he said, okay? Let's be fair. I'm going to be fair about this. And you guys can decide whether he was inciting and trying to conspire against the United States with his free speech. Now, here we go.
We did a great job in the wall. Remember the wall? They said it could never be done. One of the largest infrastructure projects we've ever had in this country. And it's had a tremendous impact. And we got rid of catch and release. We got rid of all of the stuff that we had to live with. But now the caravans, they think Biden's getting in. The caravans are forming again. They want to come in again and rip off our country. Can't let it happen. As this enormous crowd shows, we have truth and justice on our side. We have a deep and enduring love for America in our hearts. We love our country. We have overwhelming pride in this great country, and we have it deep in our souls. Together, we are determined to defend and preserve government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Our brightest days are before us. Our greatest achievements still wait. I think one of our great achievements will be election security, because nobody until I came along had any idea how corrupt our elections were. And again, most people would stand there at 9 o'clock in the evening and say, I want to thank you very much. And they go off to some other life. But I said, something's wrong here. Something's really wrong. Can't have happened. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. Our exciting adventures and boldest endeavors have not yet begun. My fellow Americans, for our movement, for our children, and for our beloved country. And I say this, despite all that's happened, the best is yet to come. So we're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue. I love Pennsylvania Avenue. And we're going to the Capitol, and we're going to try and give. The Democrats are hopeless. They're never voting for anything. When the way they got there is illegal. When the state's achievements still wait. I think one of our great achievements will be election security, because nobody until I came along had any idea how corrupt our elections were. And again, most people would stand there at 9 o'clock in the evening and say, I want to thank you very much. And they go off to some other life. But I said, something's wrong here. Something's really wrong. Can't have happened. And we fight. We fight like hell. And if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore. Our exciting adventures and boldest endeavors have not yet begun. My fellow Americans, for our movement, for our children, and for our beloved country. And I say this, despite all that's happened, the best is yet to come. So we're going to walk down Pennsylvania Avenue. I love Pennsylvania Avenue. And we're going to the Capitol, and we're going to try and give, the Democrats are hopeless. They're never voting for anything. Not even one vote. But we're going to try and give our Republicans, the weak ones, because the strong ones don't need any of our help. We're going to try and give them the kind of pride and boldness that they need to take back our country. So let's walk down Pennsylvania Avenue. I want to thank you all. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you all for being here. This is incredible. Thank you very much.
All right. So that was 250,000 people in Brush Mall. Okay. All right. Now, my problem is that I am in a community that says they are not into politics, but yet I continue to hear people in their political talking points, and I think they're full of shit. So I have a fair question for everybody perpetrating the fraud out there that's in this community. Does Donald Trump, as an American citizen, does he have First Amendment rights? And if you believe that he does, the answer to that question is yes. Now, let's look at the indictment. Because they do a lot of, we know that police officers constantly project. Most people project. If you guys want to support the channel, do so. Please do so. You guys know my PayPal, my Cash App, all that. You want to support with Super Chats, it's fine. Don't hesitate. Be a member. Please do join us, because Wolvie will always come out with the facts, and he will be partisan with them only to bipartisan people. Meaning, I'm going to take the partisan facts, because partisan's all by itself. It's only got one side. And I and the rest of us being bipartisan, because we're not into politics, we're going to look at this with a non-biased eye. Now, let's take a damn good look at this. Do you guys see this one right here? A lot of people didn't see that. They didn't see that in this indictment. For some fucking reason, a lot of people went blind in my community. They call themselves the 1A, and they didn't see this right here. They didn't see this count right here. I don't know why it's not. Yeah, okay. You see that? This is one of the four. The United States versus Donald Trump. Here's all the conspiracy charges. Count 4, US 18-241, conspiracy against rights. Now, we all know that police officers, and what we do, all they do is deflect, and they criminalize our speech. Is Donald Trump's speech criminalized? He's free. He's a free man. He has rights. That is one executive that has the privilege of having rights and executive privileges. Being president, you have constitutional rights as well as executive privilege. Now, again, looking at these charges, seeing that charge right there, should the 1A back him up in that specific charge with his right to free speech? Because he didn't incite shit. He said, let's go stand behind people that are weak and make them strong and let them know that we're here, basically. He didn't go down there. Nowhere did he incite violence. Nowhere. He even started to refrain himself. Got to be careful in what I'm saying here. Okay? So, as the statist, most people that say they're not, and if you're not a statist, that means you're not paying taxes, you don't have a job, you're not a part of the system, and you're living off the land somewhere in the wilderness. This dude right here is lying to himself if he lives in America. Moving on. So, as I said, I always talk about Master, and I know that Master is the one. Here's Master right here. See this? This is Master. That's Master right there. See that? The United States District Court for Columbia of District. That is Master, ladies and gentlemen. See it? That's Master. That's deflecting and using this specific charge down there. Should we be standing for Donald Trump's right to say his free speech, or should we let Master get rid of his opponent? Since when does the DOJ bring charges against people during an election? They never did. First time ever. And these people have been perpetrating a fraud forever. Forever. They've been doing it. Forever. You see what I'm saying to you? I need people to think. That is a rhetorical question for everybody out here. Should you be free enough to say, let's go protest? And let's help those weak-minded people that don't have a judge of their own character because they're scared. Like Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Donald Trump, Biden, every one of these stupid presidents. So if you take let's take this off. All right, let's take this out of the equation here, and let's look at the overlay here. You see, they welcomed him on January 17th, 2016. Or is that 17th? Whatever. And they knew that he knew all their secrets because he used to be them. He used to be those people perpetrating the fraud. The rich bastards. Like all the civil rights leaders at the top. They're all rich. They're all millionaires. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, and the rest, Jesse Jackson, Shapiro, all of them. Hell, there's a couple of them I don't even want to say. They got their own show on CNN. They make me sick. They are such race-baiting fools. They make me sick. They're the divider of what's going on out here. But that's not the point. The point I want to make to you is, should you back free speech, even from people we don't like? I don't like Donald Trump. I can't stand, as a person, Donald Trump. I can't stand him. I think he's a piece of shit. Y'all hear me? I'll be back in a second. I want you guys reflect on what I'm saying. Okay, I was back. Seems like every time I do a live stream, people want to call me. Somebody's at the door. There's always something trying to stop me. And that is what throws me off. And I can't concentrate like I want to. But you know what? Them are forces that doesn't want a real motherfucker like me to stay in the loop. Because as I still am, 242 is still on that freaking document. 242, as some of those non-reading, very biased, very political people that were in my chat yesterday, I have you on a list. You are a bona fide Democrat, and I have the bona fide Republicans now that in that chat yesterday out of the 100 people that came in. Thank you for letting me know who you are. Now, being real and putting your biases aside, those people that are here are going to be judged by my judge of character the same way. You've already made your statements. It's already there. Your hate should not cause you to allow CPS, government, police, the U.S. attorney, or any other people of authority that is in deprivation of rights under the color of law. Let me make this very clear. I love having my own judge of character, and I love not being nailed down to any person or care about what any specific person out there that doesn't give two craps about me and the feeling is mutual. I'm good. No love lost. I get it. I'm not a fan of either party myself, my friend. That's probably why we get along so well. But there are a lot of people out here that's got checks behind their names that are perpetrating a damn fraud. Even though I can't stand Donald Trump as a person, he was probably one of the best policymakers we've ever had. Even though he's a terrible person. Now, that's just my opinion. Moving forward, we're going to read this. We're going to read this because I think it's important that we do. I think it's important that everybody read this. Make this a little bigger too. All right. First and foremost, let me do this real quick. Let me go to the. I brought the wrong one up. We'll go back to that in a minute. We're going to bring this up right here. Usually this is under 241 and 242. Okay, 241 does include 242. So under this section, it makes it a crime for a person acting under color of law to willfully deprive a right or a privilege protected by the Constitution of the United States. The purpose of 242 acts under color of law includes not only federal and state and local within lawful authority, but acts beyond the bounds. Here we go. This is what I want to talk about. But acts beyond the bounds that officials lawful authority. If the acts are done while officials are perpetuating to pretended to be an act or performance of his or her duties, the person under color of law within meaning of the statute includes police officers. Let's look at it right here. Includes police officers, prison guards, other law enforcement officials, as well as judges, care providers in public health facilities, and others who are acting in public as public officials. It is not necessary that a crime be motivated animus towards a race, color, religion, or sex or handicap, remaining a status of natural origin or victim. The offense is punishable with the range up to life or the death penalty. See that? I told you this is a floater. When Wolfie told you this is a floater, he meant it. Here's your evidence. The offense is the range up to the term of life or the death penalty upon the circumstances of the crime or resulted in injury. Now, take this back down again. Bring that other one back up. Because it's under this code, the same penalties apply. Because it's a U.S. penal code for a felony. Now, let's look at this. 241, against rights. This is what they're charging them with. Here we go. We're not looking at this down here. We are now looking at this up here. So forget that down there. Title 18, 241. This is what they charged him with. This is on the indictment. Okay? This makes this. Wait a minute. Hold up a second. He went beyond free speech? Yeah? Okay. How did he go? Hey, Karen, perfect name. Karen, can you tell me how he went beyond free speech in the speech we just seen? Was he speaking to the people? There was over 270,000 people in Brush Mall on public property during time, place, and manner, Smith versus Cummings, redressing the government, which is his officials. He has a First Amendment right, remember, or unless you're saying he doesn't have a First Amendment right, get it? Karen, he either has one or he don't have one. Which is it? You need to answer that question right now because you're making yourself look very ignorant. Remember, we've seen it. We know it. You go rewind and watch. He said, let's go help these guys, our leaders, and let them know and stand behind them. That's all he said. I didn't hear him making any threats. The only threat in your mind that I can think of is that you don't want him to be president, which that's your prerogative. But do we throw people in prison because you don't like my speech? I'm probably thinking you're one of the type of people that would probably want to jail me because of what I just said to you. Clear it up for me if I'm wrong. Let's see. Do you honestly think a little chocho of American can't seem to stand the track by accident? This is terrorist activity designed to destroy the water economy and the commerce of this. Okay, you're going into. I'm probably missing a whole book that goes with that statement. You're repeating the same thing I am. He violated the butthurt statute. Okay, I gotcha. A 1983 provides individual rights to state government employees and other acting. Yeah. I just read all that, dude. Quit repeating what I'm saying, man. I'm the host. I've already done that. Say something that's not already said. Anyways, let's go under this. This statute makes it unlawful for any person to conspire, oppress, threaten, intimidate a person in the state, territory, direct, or free exercise of enjoyment of any right, privilege secured to him or her, the Constitution or the laws of the United States because of his or her having exercised the same. Further, it makes it unlawful for two or more persons to discuss on a highway, on the premises, or any other to intend to provide or hinder his or her exercise, enjoyment of any rights secured. Punishment varies from the fines of imprisonment up to 10 or both, and death penalties, or such acts of kidnapping or attempted to kidnap or sexual abuse and others. See, this is a major stretch. These hypocrites and even some of them butthurt Republicans are putting themselves like Mike Pence. Mike Pence is a straight up. He's worse than any of them. He's the scariest bootlicker I have ever seen in my entire life. You know, vice presidents suck. They're always jealous because they want to be president, and they never made it. They don't like coming in second, so they're always butthurt. They always think that they're the president when they're not. So when he disagrees with Donald Trump, or say like if it was you, act like that he was your VP. Would you like him as your VP? Hell no. I know I wouldn't. We all know this shit. That's right. That's right. Yep. That's too bad we're not talking about Alan, right? Boy, that would mean something if this was only talking about Alan. We're not talking about Alan. We're talking about specific rights for specific people. The Commonwealth of America, half of America, is so fucking biased and hateful that they're willing to use the law to get rid of free speech. And this is what every First Amendment auditor, constitutional journalist, whatever you want to call yourself, constitutional scholars with their trifolds, etc., etc. Yeah. That's what we're talking about right now. Quit contradicting yourselves. This is the double standard. This is called the two-tier justice system that we all bitch about. Now, I don't know about all them other indictments, but as far as these indictments right here, that were made on August 1st, it's all a sham to me. Everything else might be applied, and whatever penalties and whatever juries find him guilty on, that's in between him and his jury and their judge. But that one right here, down here at the bottom, where you're seeing this, where my cursor is, and me highlighting this, yeah, that is what we talk about on a daily basis. And the majority of us should be professionals at this. We should know exactly what that means. And I see a lot of deflecting. So I see plan, pitch, take, deny. I see the police projecting their criminality on him and saying, okay, we can't get rid of this guy. We tried to impeach him twice. A jury of his peers found him not guilty, and that's a fact. We got to get him some other way. Isn't that what they do to us on a sidewalk? Isn't that what they do to us inside of a police precinct in New York? All of you people that call yourselves First Amendment constitutionalist protectors of the Constitution, if you don't agree with this fact of projection, I believe you are perpetrating a fraud and you are fake as fuck. Now, I'm done. But I want to take a vote with me and my 15 subscribers. I got 15 people in here right now. I piss people off when I say my 15 subscribers. Listen. One, he deserves, no, just put yes. Does he deserve his First Amendment right? Or two, does he not deserve his First Amendment right? Go ahead, you choose. I'm going to sit back and let you look at this picture. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for making your voices clear. From my 15 subscribers, I got 16 returns. CC, you've changed your opinion since yesterday. I'm glad that I can be an assistance to you to show you where we change inside here. Okay? Because we seen this right here, and we know that police officers and prosecutors and judges are a bunch of fucking liars. So thank you for understanding the narrative today. Thank you for being mature enough to understand and concede and drop your bias in the no bias zone today. And I'm going to tell you something else. Understand all these yeses and the things that we see. People don't want to go down on the record because they're marginalized. They get afraid of people that seriously come after you. Bring it on. But remember, your words trolling my fucking channel I will take your ass to court. And I got plenty of money to do it. And I got all your names at the top. I know who all of you are. I know every one of you, the socialists, the non-socialists, and the people that have the Constitution right here in their hearts. I know the people that have the Constitution in their hearts and making money. But they put making money over their hearts because James Freeman says, I am recording the downfall of a free nation. Sir, you have badly taken me for granted. All of you people that have these big channels, you don't know me. You don't know my education. You think you know me because there's two names out there that come under, and I love it when I slap them with the suit and I get you in a court of law, and then you say, oh no, did I just say inflammatory things that defamated this man's character that I didn't bother looking at the mugshot to understand that that was somebody fucking else? I love it when people take me for granted. I love it. I love it. As much as I love that brother's content. I'm going to tell you something. Back 2 summers ago, when I was really, really, really in this, and me and Freaking Media was talking every day, and we're talking about how we're going to make some change, and I was watching, he didn't watch all them other guys. He stayed off of it. He just made it. We go out and made our own content. You know, that's what he did. And when Freaking Media, I started bringing him up, he's like, yeah, I know. You know, I don't watch some of these guys because I don't got the time. You know, I'm like, cool, yeah, I got you. But, you know, I love the way he came back at these police officers and used their tactics and used their invasive, disrespectful, disdainful, unappreciative, disingenuous statements and gaslighting tactics and corrosive tactics and threw them right back in their face. It's what I loved about James Freeman. James Freeman's awesome with that. But nobody's perfect. I say that because my words don't mean nothing. But, sir, you have badly taken me for granted. You have poorly judged me, my friend. And for those other people that are just high-ons that sit and smoke themselves retarded, trying to make and put a judgment on me, you're number one. Sit there and think that that's not a gateway, but on your deathbed, I want you to remember this fat man's face. You're going to have barrel chest one day, and you're not going to be able to breathe. And I told you it's a gateway drug that will take you straight to hell. Now, as we all know, we know that there is a definition in Hebrew that says hell is the ground. I'm not sending you to the bat and mashing of teeth in the bottomless pit. I'm simply telling you the definition of hell in Hebrew is the ground. And that's where they put us. They bury us when we die. Some people will die a barrel chest because they smoke themselves retarded. And that's what you can do. But to sit there and try to tell me that that's not a gateway drug, you're full of shit. You don't know what you're talking about. I won't even have a conversation with you on it. Smoke. I don't judge you. I have people that smoke. There are people that live in my home that smoke. But they know the training that I have. They know that the kind of training that I had to have to do my job as somebody that helped people in a time of crisis when families are hurting and they're going through complete hell. Everybody knows my name. I'm a pure mentor. That right there says my name, and it tells you that United Paralyzed Veterans of America, when I used to, this is pre-COVID, and there's my DMC badge where I used to go in and help people. It was a high political time. There was a lot of cancel culture. People were dying of you know what, and I'm sure that program went all to hell. Understand who you are, your self-worth, and understand the narrative. Understand it. I have a bias and I have a non-bias. I have right here in the middle my opinion. And then above all, I have facts. I have read to you the facts. When people was coming in and told me that I was wrong on the indictment yesterday, I read the indictment. I didn't put it up because I didn't want to prove to them. I wanted to come in and do another stream because that right there got me data that I didn't have yesterday that proves the narrative that I've been saying all along about cancel culture. You guys need to understand why these tyrants are turning you against each other out here on these YouTube streets, let alone in the physical streets. If you say my side is better than your side and you guys argue, the people that are representing you for taxation continue to tax you even more because they've got you into a pissing contest to where you're willing to pay that tax as long as you can get your cancel stick out and beat the hell out of your brother or your sister, or you can't even sit down at a normal gathering where you eat together. You can't even talk to your neighbor while watering your lawn because they're on the political sides. They disrespect one another. They're terrible to one another. Fuck a Republican and fuck a Democrat leader. That's what I'm saying to you. I don't care about you being a bona fide Democrat or a bona fide Republican that votes for them. You can vote for who you want to. Just know who you're voting for, man. In my opinion, if you're going to vote and participate in that, try to look for the greater of the two evils and quit looking at racism as the greatest evil because it's not. It's just an attribute of tyranny. You need to look at the policies. You got to figure out why you're paying $14 for a dozen of eggs. You got to figure out why you're paying $3 to $4 to $5 to $6 a gallon when it was $1.86 before this fool got into office. I'm sorry to tell you, but I'm not going to sit back and lie to myself. I can't look at myself in the mirror when I lie to myself. That's why when I look at somebody tells me, go find me a good cop, as much as I can't stand bad police officers, the majority of them rule and they make the good cops bad cops. So the good cops that are good cops that do good policing, they're still bad cops because they won't put cuffs on the bad cops that they know that is underneath that station. They won't. They have a sworn duty. You don't need a captain's bar or a lieutenant's bar or a sergeant's stripe or any type of authority. All you need is to be IMCOL certified in the state of Michigan and on duty and draw up in an indictment and go and arrest them, fingerprint them, put them in jail, give them a bond, and charge them with it. And do your best to put it in front of a judge. If they dismiss it, they dismiss it. But you did your part. Hey, what's going on, Bull of Corruption? How you doing? You know, I sit and I listen to people, and I let them believe certain things because my gift that I've had is getting people to do certain things, and I have to elicit certain behavior out of them to get that out of them. I know it's a sad trick in a bag of there's a method to my madness bag, but unfortunately, it has to be done for the fortunate side of proving a point where the good, the bad, the ugly is in each and every one of us. And if we don't change it, freedom is gone. If we don't stand together in solidarity and put down your right and put down your left and come together as a community and say, you know what? We need somebody that's willing to tell the truth. We need another Martin Luther King. We need people that are going to make their stands and say what needs to be said without their bias. And we can't have that when your side's against his side. And every time you guys do that, what happened? Every time the Republicans did a story on Hunter, the very next day they would put an indictment on freaking Donald Trump. The news cycle changed, didn't it? It's all deflection. It's a pissing contest, back and forth. And everybody out here is doing this. Now, if my other hand was there, you'd be seeing it do this from this side. So that's what I'm saying. Okay? These people that continue to pull Houdinis on you, you allow them to do that to you. Stop. Don't let them do it. They can't win unless you allow them to. They can't get away with this unless you allow them to. Remember, we've talked about perceived authority all the time. Consistently talking about perceived authority. That's done. Understand who you are. Understand your self-worth. Know that you are worth more than just a word and a ham sandwich. Come on, man. Because that's the size of this. You can indict a ham sandwich if you want. Does it make it legitimate? Hell no. Especially if it's all lies. All they're doing is doing what they did to Hillary Clinton. When Jim Comey stepped up to the mic and said, well, yeah, she made she deleted all kinds of emails and blah, 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 blah. And she was never charged with it. She was never proven, even though she did on the record, make a record of it. And they did. In fact, she conceded to doing it, taking hammers to it. And there are witnesses that came forward. They didn't charge and convict her of it. Therefore, you can't say that she's wrong. But the court of public opinion changed. And that's why she lost that election. As much as I can't stand Hillary Clinton, she should have been the president. Not because of what I said. It's because of these biased people during an election pulling a dope fiend move on the American people and tainting your belief system. They're tainting your belief system, ladies and gentlemen. Me personally, I'm going to go in peace. But I wanted to make my point, and I think my point's going to stand no matter what people turn it into. I don't care. It don't make no difference to me. The fact is the fact. The United States of America just put an indictment on Donald J. Trump for free speech. Let me know in the comments what you think. Wolverine's back quiet reading the mail. Have a great day.